What's up, guys? So it's finally time for me to actually put out my review of Metal Gear Online 3. Now, I've waited this long simply because I didn't want to rush a review. I wanted to get the full gameplay experience, and I put in so many hours, and my kill death ratio is so great right now, guys. So now I really just want to, give my thoughts on Metal Gear Online as a whole. What I'll be doing is I'll be separating pros and cons. I'll give 3 of each, the ones I feel are most important, and then I'll give my overall impressions and my overall feelings about Metal Gear Online 3. So let's just jump right into it. First off, before I begin, I just want to say that the gameplay you're seeing on your screen is from another YouTuber who's actually a good friend of mine. Check him out in the channel, he puts up gameplay all the time. But anyways, let's just start with the pros of Metal Gear Online. The first thing I want to say is comparing it to Metal Gear Online 1 and Metal Gear Online 2. This Metal Gear Online's gameplay is fantastic. It's really addictive as well. There's so much to do in this game. In terms of gameplay, if you've gotten used to story mode aspect of Phantom Pain and you feel really good at the shooting and everything, you're gonna have a blast with Metal Gear Online. That is guaranteed. The gameplay is just phenomenal in every way. Everything is fluid. It's really good. The game is just perfect in terms of its gameplay. Another pro is there's so many different ways to play. There's not just run and gun, which I do. I love that class. But there's also cloak. Cloak lets you disguise yourself, pretty much putting on a device called stealth, which makes you partially invisible. And you could just rush around, sneaking behind enemies, have a shotgun that can stun them, knock them out. It's really good with photons, really helping your team. And on top of that, even if you're using the stealth equipment, you can still use assault rifles. So oftentimes I would be playing, why am I getting shot at? Who's shooting at me? I'm looking all around, I can't find my enemy. Turns out my enemy was wearing stealth all along. I feel that's a really good way to play. There's also another one that lets you spot enemies, really good with equipment. There's so many ways to play this game. You can set down teddy bears to distract your enemies. There's so many ways to play this game. It's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. Metal Gear Online has always been, choose your style how you want to play, but this game puts a lot of emphasis on it, and I'm really happy that they did it so well. And the final pro is that the guns are completely balanced. In shooting games especially, there's always 1, 2, maybe even 3 guns that truly stand out as the best. But in Metal Gear Online, everybody starts off, no matter which class you pick, with the same assault rifle. So there's no like, oh my god, your gun's better than mine, you're cheap. That pretty much doesn't exist. And although you do unlock guns as you play, those guns are just not overpowered. Hell, I stick with the main default assault rifle you have, even though I actually unlocked 2 others. So definitely stick with the default one. It's really good. Everybody has it. It's extremely balanced. It doesn't give you like instant kills in like 3 shots. Go for the head, guys. Really go for the heads. And if you're going for the body and the running, make sure you have good aim. This gun is not overpowered. It's completely balanced. So let's get into the cons, the things that really put this game down. First of all, this game, as good as it is with gameplay, there is a lack of game modes. Other previous iterations of Metal Gear Online had a ton of game modes, a ton, and this one only has 3, and that's really depressing, especially the fact that lobby customization seems like it's been removed. You can't just use handgun lobbies or assault rifle lobbies or just stealth lobbies. That doesn't exist. It existed in Metal Gear Online 2. You can do a ton of matches that of your own creation, but that has completely been removed. And on top of that, Metal Gear Online 2, hell, even Metal Gear Online 1 had a ton of unique characters. You had Sokolov, you had Eva, you had Meryl, you had Johnny, you had all these characters of the Metal Gear universe coming together so people can play as them, and that is completely missing from Metal Gear Online 3. We only have 2 unique characters who honestly is really not that unique, besides for like 2 really not that useful abilities that both of them have. I feel like in terms of unique characters at this point, they may be planning to add some in, but they really disappointed me with the amount of unique characters we'll have at launch. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to see Quiet. I wanted to see Skullface. You know, maybe Huey in some way, in some fashion. I don't know. I'm really disappointed in the amount of unique characters. Now, some of the lobbies when you get in, this is another con by the way, they're just extremely laggy. Extremely laggy. Like, the game does a good job in having you feel like that there's no lag because your character does move really fluently and responds to the controls as you press the button. But it's just not the case, you know. To you on your screen, you press square for a dive, you dive, right? But on a player screen, you press square an hour ago and you just did not react. Your guns seem like you're shooting at the opponent and it's your bullets just going right through them. It's not hitting them. It's not picking up hit detection at all, and that's a real big problem. I heard that they're actually working on that, and they also need to work on the glitches as well. I would go into matches and my character is completely invisible, and it's like I don't have stealth on. I use enforcer. So why is my character invisible for? It doesn't make any sense. They really need to work on those two things. Now for the final con I have is that gear points take way too long to accumulate. I've played so many matches in this game and constantly I only get 20 gear points, maybe 30 at times. Sometimes, one time I even got 40. But honestly, the main amount of times I've played the game, I've only gotten 20 gear points per match. And it's ridiculous. I wouldn't mind if the colors you can buy, the equipment you can buy were cheap, but these things are fucking expensive, yo. This is like 5,000 for the red color. It's really stupid. Like, no, it's 10,000 for the red color, 5,000 for the blue color. For glasses, Kojima's glasses cost like what, 20,000, something like that. So getting 20 gear points per mission is really stupid, and it is a really big issue. You know, it's really making me consider microtransactions. It's really stupid. They really need to put more gear points per match. Regardless, you know, as much as I love Metal Gear Online 3, I put so much time into it. I have to be real with you guys. I cannot give a biased opinion. The game is amazing. It is. But these cons, man, these cons really make the game watered down in terms of lag, in terms of annoying gear points, in terms of the game modes just simply being 3, which I'm kind of getting tired of those 3. The amount of unique characters that are missing, there's so much potential for some to join, lobby customization. It's just, right now I wouldn't recommend you buying it for Metal Gear Online. I say continue to play the story, continue to grind in story, and wait for more future maintenances to come. They're really updating it very rapidly at this point, and I feel like a lot of the issues we are facing now will be addressed. But for now, I have out of 10, I'd have to give the game about a 6 for just this online portion. Talking about single player, just the online, out of 10, I'd have to give it a 6. These cons are just too much and they really water it down. Really bring back lobby customization. I would love a CQC only stealth match if that's possible for me to have. But anyways, that's just my opinion of Metal Gear Online. That's my review. Let me know what you guys think about Metal Gear Online. And once again, check out my friend. His link is in the description. The gameplay you're seeing is from his channel, so definitely check it out. Anyways, I'm going to be out of here. Deuces.